Hi everyone, so welcome back to another yoga video with me. This is the third one, and for this yoga class we're going to be focusing on the lower body. So mainly our focus is going to be on mobility, deep stretching, and just overall just releasing through these areas of the body. So we're going to be focusing on our lower back, our hips, hip flexors, and also the flexibility in our legs, which is often sometimes something that we forget. That's really important. So to get us started, we are starting in a seated position today. So as we have done with the previous two videos, and what we're doing again today is starting off with a grounding of breath exercise. We're then going to move through our asanas or our yoga postures. And once again, we're ending in a meditation. So to get us going, let's close the eyes in a comfortable seated position. Turning our attention back to the breath, we are connecting to that long, slow and steady inhale in through the nose. And full complete exhale, really empty your lungs back out. So this in the last two classes, and I'm going to say it again, focusing on the breath really is the quickest, easiest, most effective way to reduce that anxiety and stress that we all experience and to help promote and invoke a little bit of relaxation. So as we inhale today, let's take in our intention of today's practice, which is all about relaxation, doing something good for our bodies. And as we exhale, let's let go of the stress, the negativity, the self-judgment and self-criticism. No place for any of those things in yoga. You really don't need them in your life either. And once again, although our focus today is going to be mostly on the lower body, I am going to be incorporating some other stretches for other areas of the body, just so we're not completely unbalanced in our approach. So to get us started, just as we always do, let's release through our shoulders a bit. One of the most common places to hold a lot of stress and tension in the body. Roll your shoulders back. And then when you're ready, roll your shoulders forward. We're going to come back to stillness. We're going to bring some rolls into the neck. Really slow and safe movements with this one. Take it in the other direction. And when we're ready, coming back to stillness. From here, just to address our spine, let's take through a spinal stretch. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to one side, let's bring in our spinal twist. This is warming up our whole spine, so our whole back. Inhaling, arms up. Let's exhale to the other side. Inhale, arms back up through the middle. From here, we're going to be hinging forward with the hips. I'm only moving, so I've got space to show you guys. Hinging forward from the hips, coming into a forward fold. From here, walk the hands over to the left side, so stretching to the left side of the body. Pick the body up, walk the hands across, take it through on the other side.
She says, wait, it's no use breathing. I'll keep still, breathing. Birds don't leave,
and bring them back to the middle and walk your hands up. From here, let's come down onto the back. So don't send your legs out long. Have your knees bent, feet up on the mat. Let's take our arms out at shoulder height. Take your one last back stretch before we go into the hips. Drop your knees in one direction and your face in the opposite direction. So always making sure the face is in the opposite direction to our knees. If you want to make the stretch a little bit deeper, you can cross the knees. Just a couple more times. And coming back into the center. From here, we're bringing our knees in towards the chest. We're going to focus on massaging our lower back and our hips. So just rocking the knees any way that feels comfortable for you. Just really focusing on paying particular attention to the hips and the lower back. Squeezing the knees in towards the chest. From here, if you're comfortable with lifting the head up off the mat. If at any point you want to bring the head back down, feel free to do so. Let's extend out one leg, but we're not letting this leg hit the ground. We're keeping the leg up. Keep focusing on the breath. Let's swap side. And swap. And one last time, swap. Bring the knee back in towards the body and release the head. From here, let's bring some separation between the knees. So encouraging the knees out towards the side, getting that stretch through our groin and our hip flexors. If right here, this is enough of a stretch for you, stay here. Otherwise, we're going to come into our happy baby, so feet towards the ceiling, elbows on the inside of the knees, hands on the outside of the feet. If your happy baby is looking like this, just means you need to hold down either on the ankles or go back to the knees. Having a happy baby like this is actually closing off our hips. We want to open them up. Even if you're like this, your legs are going way out. That also means you're not quite doing the stretch quite right. focus on just holding onto the knees. The feet ideally want to be facing directly towards the ceiling. We're going to incorporate a little bit of rocking from side to side. Feel free to go for it.
Stories across the sky.
Let's go back to stillness and just focusing on opening up through this pose. And bring the knees back together. Once again, give your back a little bit of a massage. Backs and hips. A little bit of side to side, circles with the knees, whatever feels comfortable for you. From here, when we're ready, we're placing the feet back down on the mat. We're going to come into some bridges. We're going to be using our breath to come in and out of our bridge. Our bridge is really good, not only for our core, but also strengthening through our quads and our glutes. So as we inhale, we're going to keep our knees nice and straight over our big toes. We're rising, engaging the glutes, bringing the arms back over the top of the head, holding at the top of our inhale, and exhale, arms and hips coming back down. So there's no rush with this one. We're just listening to the breath. We're inhaling to rise, keeping those knees nice and strong. Exhaling to release.
See this body's great.
Make sure we give ourselves a moment at the top of our inhale to hold our bridge.
Show me your way.
Couple more of these.
I disappear in a flash.
And release. Bring your arms by your side. Let's extend up one leg. We'll be taking through our bridges again. Keep your arms by your sides. Hold your stability. Let's do the same thing. Inhale to rise. Exhale to release. Want to keep the leg vertical the whole time. We're not dropping our leg. It's staying vertical. Really safe, slow, controlled movements. Making sure we're keeping that knee strong, the legs not dropping out or dropping in. Couple more. When you're ready, bring that foot down and let's take this to the other side. So we're going to be extending the opposite leg. And same thing again, we're using our breath, we're maintaining control, and we're moving slowly with stability.
It's all the things you trust.
Couple more.
See yourself.
And when you're ready from here, release the legs out long. Extending our arms over the top of the head on the mat, taking a second to lengthen and stretch all the way from the fingertips down to the toes. From here, we're going to come into a spinal roll. So I'm just going to move down a little bit on the mat. So we're going to be using our arms. You can either have them by your side, whatever feels comfortable for you. We're going to be rolling our legs up, seeing if we can tap the legs behind us and send the legs down, lifting the body up, reaching for the toes. Coming back, sending the legs back, touching the toes to the ground if we can. Bringing the legs forward, following with the arms, reaching for the toes. Just a couple more. Even though I'm feeling really tight today, so take it nice and slow, nice and easy. One more time. The next time you come up and we're reaching for our toes, let's stay here. Seeing if we can make contact with the knees, shins, ankles, feet, toes, bringing our body towards the legs. Usually I'm not this tight, but today I'm super tight. Sure, everyone else is feeling it too. Don't be hard on yourself. You don't have to be flexible, able to like bring your whole body down in order to do yoga. You really don't. You're already an absolute pro with your flexibility. You wouldn't have anything to work on, that would be pretty boring. So just try to keep that in mind. Make sure we are using our breath. Slow, steady, long inhale in through the nose and a full complete exhale into your lungs, back out through the nose. We use nostril breathing in yoga to help strengthen our heart muscle. Try and take it a little bit deeper. And let's release, bring it up. From here, tucking one foot in towards the leg. We're going to be taking it through on one leg now. So let's inhale, bring the arms up. Exhaling, folding over this leg. we do focus on the breath, we want to make sure we really do take in really big breath as we inhale and as we exhale. Make sure you are emptying the lungs. When we're doing deep stretching like this, our bodies really, really need oxygen. Our muscles really need it. And if you're not really exhaling fully, you're still holding on to a lot of used up air, so a lot of like carbon monoxide and stuff like that. That's actually not going to do your body any good. Bring the leg in, let's swap sides. Up, so inhale and exhale over that leg. Slowly begin to lift it up and bring our other foot in. So now we are in our butterfly. A really common thing that I see in people when they come into a butterfly pose is they go straight into fluttering the legs. Actually really, really don't recommend this. When we do that, we're actually creating a really similar effect that you get in the muscles when your muscles start to spasm because you're overstretching. So if you're ever overstretching, your muscles start to spasm, you'll feel them go like, kind of like that. You'll feel them like contracting like that. And over time, if you do too much of that, it actually reduces the amount of flexibility that you're going to have in these areas. Because your muscles and your body learns that when you stretch, you hurt yourself because you're overextending and these connections will shorten over time. So that was a really long explanation, but pretty much we don't want to be doing anything like that. So anytime we're in a really deep stretch, we don't want to be shaking our joints. We don't want to be contracting too much. We just want to be really loose, really relaxed, really chill. I talk about a lot in my classes the difference between pain and effort. Effort is awesome. I want people to work hard. I want people to push themselves. I want people to get better. I want people to feel the difference in their mobility, in their flexibility, in how much easier it gets to sit up and get down onto the ground, how much easier it is to move your body. So I want people to feel that and experience that, but I don't want people to be in pain. If you ever are in genuine pain, it goes beyond the point of effort, it is pain. Just make sure you release out of it, give yourself a break, give yourself a cooler, and yeah, just listen to your body. So here in our butterfly, we're going to start to bring the body towards the mat. The purpose of bringing the body towards the mat is so that we get the deeper stretch and it really isolates the stretching in our legs and our groin. Let's slowly lift up, bring the knees together, give them a bit of a stretch. Feel free to extend the legs. Let's swing those knees around and come into a high kneel. So from here, we're going to be coming into a stretch now more for our backs. So for this one, it's really important that we are listening to the body and you're taking on what you are more comfortable with. So we're coming up onto the knees. This is, can't believe I've just forgotten the name of it. It'll come to me, camel pose. So going to come into our camel. If you're not comfortable coming around and making contact with the feet or the ankles with your feet flat, you can tuck under the toes, bring them a little bit closer towards you. Otherwise, still you're coming back into it, and then more like this. Your hips are coming down and your shoulders are up. I suggest just placing your hands into your lower back and stretching. We want to send the hips forward with our stretch. So with whatever version of camel you're comfortable with, let's take a deep breath. Ground ourselves and come back into our version. We're not going to be too long. I know this is a very deep stretch for a lot of people's bodies. And let's release. Hands on the mat, crossing over the ankles, really round the spine. And let's release. From here, we are in our tabletop posture. So wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, our spine is in a neutral position. We can claw the mat to help reduce a bit of that tension in the wrists. Feel free at any point as well, come up onto the knuckles. Just listen to your own body. Let's use our breath in our cat-cow for our spine. Let's inhale, arch the spine, chin to chest. Exhale, slightly drop the belly, slightly look up. No rushing with these movements, just listening to your breath. Couple more. Cat-cow is great for our spinal flexibility, anyone with mid to lower back pain, and also really good for aiding in digestion. When we're ready, let's come back to our neutral spine. From here, we're going to be extending out one leg. And we're starting to trace some smiley faces with our toes, following with our eyes. Bring it back, crossing over to the other side. So really slow movements. Trying to keep the torso nice and still. And the next time we come up beside the body, we want to ground our foot. I'm just going to turn side once, it's a little bit easier to see me. We're grounding our foot and we're releasing our hands up off the mat. We're going to take just some side stretches for the body. So bringing our hand down, that is the opposite to our extended leg. And we're stretching to the side of the body. Coming back up, we're placing this either on the thigh or the calf, not on top of the knee, stretching to the outside of the body. Sending the arms straight back up. And then bringing the hands back down. Bring that leg back in towards the body. Let's take us through the other side. Extend the opposite leg out. Let's take through our smiley faces. So taking it across the body, around to the side of the body, following with our eyes, keeping the torso nice and straight. And the next time we bring the foot up beside the body, let's ground the foot and release hands off the mat. So my foot's actually on the mat. Let's take through our side stretches. The arm that's opposite to our extended leg, let's bring it down, stretching through the side of the body. And release, hand on the thigh or the calf, not on the knee. And let's release back to the middle. And then bring the hands down. And come into our child's pose. Let's use this opportunity of stillness to reconnect back to the breath. Noticing how the breath is feeling within the body. Noticing any sensation within the body as well. From here, slowly shift our weight up back to tabletop. Let's not stay here. Tuck under the toes. Send the hips up so we're in our downward dog. Let's give ourselves a stretch through the backs of the legs. So paddling our feet. From here, come up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees towards the chest. And then straightening the legs, and we're coming down into our dolphin. This is on the forearms. We're keeping our head nice and free. It's not resting on the mat, it's not resting on our arms. Let's come back up onto the hands, and we're going to come to our three-legged dog. So extending, and you guys going to have it, extending one leg up, coming down, bending the knee, grounding that foot between the hands. We're going to start with that back knee up. If you need to drop the knee at any point, untuck the toes, you can go for it. Let's start off trying to challenge ourselves. Bring our hands so they're on the inside of the foot. We're going to come straight into our hip opening stretch. Hand on top of our knee, encourage the knee out to the side. Begin to drop your pelvis towards the mat. We've already done a little bit of hip opening work today. Keep focus on the breath. Don't forget to breathe. Bring the knee back in towards the body, drop the knee, untuck the toes, come into our half split. In our half split, we only come back to the point where our foot stays where it is. We don't bring the hips down and let our foot travel. We keep our foot where it is and we just send back the hips, get a deep stretch, we bring the bottom towards the leg. Bringing ourselves back up, let's come down into our pigeon. So we're dropping our calf, keeping our hips nice and square. From here to the nuptials, come to a place of relaxation. This is a great hip opening stretch. We're just going to stay here for a few moments, focus on the breath and just enjoy the stretch. Slowly begin to lift the body up. We're going to stay here. What we're doing is, if we can, we're bending our back legs. So you can reach out and make contact with our foot. We're going to bring that leg in towards the body, feeling that stretch through the front of that thigh. Release that leg. Let's slowly and safely come out of this posture. Stand the foot back so we're in our plank. Slowly lower down onto the mat. Take an inhale here. And as we exhale, pressing up into our cobra, keep the shoulders down, direct the gaze up. If you're more comfortable in a baby cobra, this is fine. If your cobra looks like this, you really need to bring the shoulders down. You're a good distance and space between ears and shoulders, and you never drop the neck back like that. This is a great stretch for the lower back. Let's lift the body up, really, really round the spine. So coming into a rounded child's pose. And we're ready, let's release, shift the weight forward so we're in our tabletop. Once again, we're not going to stay here. Let's tap onto the toes, come up into our downward dog. Once again, let's paddle our feet, stretching out the backs of our legs. to the tippy toes, bend the knees towards the chest. Straight legs, come down into our dolphin. Keep the head free. And back up onto the hands. From here, come to our three-legged dog on the other side. Bring the knee through and ground the foot between the hands. From here, keep that leg up if you can. If at any point you need to bring it down during the stretch, you're welcome to. Let's come to the hip opener. So hand top of the knee, encourage the knee out to the side, encourage the hips down. Bring your knee back towards the body, drop that back leg, untuck the toes, come into our half split. Send the leg forward, let's come into our pigeon. Keep the hips square, let's come into a approach of relaxation. Slowly release up, let's bring in that extra stretch. So if you can, bend the knees, hold onto the toes, bring them towards the body. Release the leg, slowly, safely come out of your pigeon, send that foot back so we're in our plank, and let's slowly lower down onto the mat once again. Taking an inhale here, and as we exhale, pressing up into cobra, direct the gaze slightly up, keep the shoulders down. If you need to, come into a baby cobra instead. And focus on the breath. Really slow, long, stable breath. Send the hips back. Really round the spine, come to a rounded child's pose. Shift your weight forward, tug under the toes, come up to downward dog. Paddle the feet. And now let's walk the hands in towards the feet. Give yourself a second in your forward fold, hold them to your elbows, rock them side to side. Release the elbows. Let's slowly roll up, stacking our vertebrae on top of each other one at a time. So the last thing that comes up is the head. From here, take a step into the middle of your mat. It's going to come to a really nice wide stance. We're going to come into our alternating side lunges, really great for our hips, releasing through the hip flexors. So bring your hands to prayer. We're going to keep really nice straight back. So as we send the hips back, we want to make sure that our pelvis and spine are in a neutral position. So we don't want to drop the belly and create a round through the back. We also don't want a round spine and create a hunch through the shoulders. We want a really nice straight back. So send the hips back, dropping down onto one side. So we're bending to one knee, coming back up. Let's take it to the other side. Just going to keep our gaze up. So just really safe, stable movements. You'll feel whether you need to bring the legs further apart, change the direction of your toes. You'll know what's right for your body. If you feel any cracks in your hips, totally normal, don't stress. You might notice you're a lot more tight on one side than the other. This is also really normal. For me, I'm always tighter to the right side. Couple more times. When you're ready, let's come back up to a straight spine. That's what it sneeze again. We're going to come down into a side lunge. So on our right side first, come down into that lunge. Keeping the hips up. At this point, we will be coming down onto the hips. We just want to be feeling a good stretch through our leg. From here, wherever you are, we're going to be dropping the hips, so we're in a seated position. Does not have to be graceful. You can keep the leg like this, then foot on the ground, or if you're more comfortable, bring the foot in towards the body like that. Let's take through our side stretch, so hand to opposite knee or ankle, and we're stretching through the side of the body. Keep going with that stretch, just excuse me a sec. So we are side stretching. Let's slowly release, bring ourselves back up. Prayer, we're sending the hips up, does not have to be graceful. I promise mine's not. We're sending the hips back up to standing. We're going to be taking through our side lunge on the other side now. Hands at prayer, let's bring it down, keep the hips up. Feeling that stretch through our legs. When we're ready, drop the hips. Does not have to be graceful. Keep the leg up like this. Let's tap the foot in towards the body, whatever's more comfortable for you. Hands to opposite knee or ankle, let side stretch.
it's your last breath. Just give it one try.
Slowly releasing, bringing the hips up, making our way back up to our wide stance. From here, heel toe the feet in so they're just wide from hip distance apart. We still want the toes out at a 45-degree angle. Taking an inhale to our high prayer. As we exhale, bring the palms to prayer at the heart. Bring the hips down, come to our yogi squat. Our yogi squat has so many benefits for the body. Really great. For anyone with any lower back pain, really good for helping with constipation, bloating, stomach cramps, menstrual cramps. I think that might almost be it, but it's got a lot of benefits for our body. Really good. And with a lot of stuff that we don't usually like to talk about as well. Great for opening up through the hips and pelvis as well. If you are not comfortable in a yogi squat, and this is actually really common for a lot of people, this pose just feels really not possible. It could not necessarily be due to your hips, but due to your ankles. People with really tight ankles or pre-existing serious ankle conditions can find it really, really hard. If this is you, just come straight into the butterfly. So drop down onto the hips, bring your feet together. We're going to take through a side stretch on this as well. So hands opposite ankle, stretch through the side of the body. Take this through to the other side. And hands back to prayer. From now, bring the hips down. And let's come down onto the back. Send your legs out long. Feel free to do a little bit of stretching. So lying in Shavasana, just take a second listening to your body. Notice if there's any areas of stiffness or tension you want to give a little bit of attention to. So give a little bit of a massage, a little bit of a stretch out. This is also a time where I give you to prepare yourself for meditation. So feel free to switch off some lights, feel free to pop on another layer now that you've come to the end of the practice and you're going to be pretty still from now on. Feel free to grab a blanket, light a candle, some incense, honestly, whatever floats your boat. Just going to give yourself a minute to ease into it. For our meditation, we do want to be in Shavasana though, so we are on our backs, our legs are out long, let the feet drop out to the sides, arms are heavy by our sides, palms are facing up. Release any and all tension from the body. Right now, all I'm asking of you is to be completely still, completely comfortable, and completely at ease. There is no tension or stress in the body. Let go of any tension in the hands and the feet. Let them become heavy. Let them become at ease. Release through the shoulders, both shoulders equal distances away from our ears. Both hips equally as heavy, sinking deep into our mat. Relax the tiny muscles in your forehead, in between the eyes, in our cheeks, all the little muscles around our lips, mouth, and our jaw. Just become completely at ease, completely comfortable. It's really not often you get the opportunity to do that. For the last few minutes that we have together, I am going to leave you in stillness and silence just to enjoy this mindful practice. Keep your focus on the breath. Really focus on taking in slow, steady, long inhales in through the nose. Feel your belly rise with air. With that inhale, take in the relaxation you've cultivated through this practice. And as you exhale, empty your lungs, let it all go. Feel your belly come back in towards your spine. With each inhale, we just take in that relaxation, really focus on breathing it in, almost visualize yourself taking in relaxation. And as you exhale, let go of any residual leftover stress or negativity that we don't want to take into the rest of our day or our night, wherever you are right now, whatever time it is. And let yourself become heavier with each breath. Each exhale, let your body sink deeper into your mat and just enjoy this practice. Slowly begin to encourage some gentle movements back into the body. Wriggle your fingers and your toes. Gently let your head rock from side to side. When you're ready with your next inhale, take your arms back over the top of your head on your mat and stretch and lengthen all the way from your fingertips down to your toes. When you're ready, draw your hands into prayer at the heart. I honour the place in you where the whole universe resides. A place of peace, light, and love. When you're in that place and I'm in that place, we are in the same place and we are one. Namaste, everyone. And thank you so much for joining me for this practice this morning, this hour, this night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Hope that you enjoyed it. Hope your bodies feel really good afterwards, and hopefully you have a really great day today, really good sleep tonight. And thank you once again. I'll see you guys hopefully soon when we're out of lockdown in a real class. But thank you so much for joining me for this series, this progress we've been through together, and wishing everyone the best of luck and all the happiness. So thank you again, and I'll see you soon hopefully.